Now, when I say establishing your own bank, I'm not talking about you going and registering a bank and putting the capital up for do that. The average person does not have the ability to do that. However, we use something that's been used for hundreds of years that even banks use. So the same financial instruments that banks use to park and grow their money is a vehicle called life insurance. You can have a properly designed life insurance policy that you can use in this fashion. So let me explain how that works. First of all, banks actually use it. So when I started looking at what do banks do? Where do banks keep their money? Do they keep their money in the bank? No. One way they make money is to lend money to you and I. So if we go and put $10,000 in a bank account, the bank can turn around and loan $30,000 out to people because the bank doesn't need to have all the money in reserves in order to make loan. They only need to have a fraction of that money. So the bank can lend. I can go and put $10,000 in the bank, and I turn around, if I want to borrow $10,000 from the bank the next day, they will probably charge me way more interest than they're paying me. So let's say I put $10,000 in my bank account and they pay me 1%, and I go back the next day and I say, hey, I want to borrow $10,000. Well, they could charge me 3%, 5%, 10%, 20% if trying to borrow that $10,000 on a credit card. So the bank makes money by leveraging our money. So,
excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Here's something I'm going to show you. So this is on FDIC's website. Anybody can go and look it up and see that banks actually use life insurance as a place to store their capital. It may be too small on the screen. You guys may not be able to see it, but
I think they can see it.
This is Bank of America. So you can go to FDIC website. You can look up what assets where do all these banks have their money? All right, so we're going to search Bank of America. You can search any one of these banks and it will tell you where their assets are. So we're going to look at Bank of America, and you'll see how Bank of America actually uses life insurance policies, properly designed permanent life insurance policies, to store money. And these types of policies allow you to have your money working, and you could take loans against it. They effectively act as your own bank. So we use life insurance for its banking function. We use life to bank through life insurance. We store money inside of a life insurance policy, we design it properly, and then we leverage it to buy income producing assets. So that's how you borrow against that policy, and you put it in different locations. Usually we're using it for real estate, we're using it for all kinds of different things to expand businesses, stuff like that. So we say, okay, we want to look at Bank of America and what is Bank of America's assets. The assets and liabilities. So these numbers over here, you add 3 zeros to that because this is shown in the middle. They don't want to make the numbers too long on a page. So if we go down here for Bank of America's assets, it says life insurance assets. So life insurance, remember we add 3 zeros on the end on here for this form. So it shows here that Bank of America has almost $23 billion stored inside of life insurance policies. Now, why would a bank store money in a life insurance policy? Well, because one, they're allowed to, something called bank-owned life insurance. So why would a bank own a life insurance policy? They store capital inside of the policy because they can earn a guaranteed interest rate higher than what they have to pay you, and they can also use it. They can use that money for many different things. Now, Bank of America actually has more cash inside of life insurance policies than they have for what's called other real estate owned, because you know that Bank of America has their own real estate that they own, and then other real estate owned have $371 million. So they actually have more money sitting in cash inside of life insurance policies than they have sitting in what's called other real estate owned.